This is the Cougar SX series 850 watt power supply. And if you want to find out more about this brand Cougar, you can go to cougar-world.com. Now I recommend you type that directly into your browser bar and do not type it into Google. Okay, that is cougarworld.com. This power supply is AMD game ready. It is Crossfire certified as well as SLI certified. It is an 80+ silver power supply, and it does feature a modular interface. I mean, one of the things I thought was really exceptional about this product is actually none of that, because there's 1,000,001 power supplies on the market, but I really like the aesthetic of it. There aren't too many guys out there that are really shaking up the look of power supplies. So go ahead and get the camera on like more of a top-down angle so that we can, oh, this is a nice package too, actually. So up here we find, oh, okay, so this is just to make sure that the top of the box is like a black color. So it looks kind of nice when you open it. I guess potentially they could put something in there if they wanted to in the future. So here we are. We have this compartmentalized little packaging system here. We're going to go ahead and try to disassemble, unbox, if you will. Okay, so there we are. And there's some more modular cables in there. And here is the power supply itself. So hopefully I'm going to be able to put that back together. All right, here is a little, presumably a quick start guide, introduction, warning and safety notes, protect the PSU against moisture, some obvious stuff like that, how to install it. Warranty is 5 years. And Cougar is actually, you can see the manufacturer contact right here is CompuCase. So CompuCase has been around a long time. They've been making case and power supplies for a very long time, so it's not like Cougar is a new company, even though it is a new brand. All right, then we've got some basic specs here for the whole series of SX. So their entire SX series is 80+ silver, although they do have other series of power supplies as well, including the GX, which is 80+ gold, as well as, I believe it's, might be CX. But yeah, like I said, you can check out more information on Cougar World. So here's a little Cougar cable tie that holds together the power supply connectors that are hardwired. That's actually pretty nice. Like, they've got a few pretty nice touches here. I think this is pretty unique what they've done with the sleeving. So you can see they're using a reasonably good quality sleeving, which you don't see enough these days. You can't actually see very easily the color of the cables underneath it. You can see it if you look for it, but like I said, it's hiding the cables somewhat, whereas a lot of sleevings seem to be like stretched, like I can't even really demonstrate it with this one, but it feels like it's stretched too thin and you can see all of the individual wires under it. So here's the 24-pin connector. You can see it is a 20+4. It's quite long, so even if you have a bottom-mounted power supply, you'll be able to reach up to the top. Let's have a look at the rest of the hardwired connectors, because this can sometimes make or break a modular power supply, in my opinion. So let me see. Okay, so we've got two PCIe 6+2 pin. So those pretty much essential for an 850 watt power supply. I'm going to go ahead and assume you're running something that requires a couple PCIe connectors. And then you have, this is probably too many cables to have hardwired for this, but we have an 8-pin, a 4+4 pin, and then we have an additional 4-pin for CPU. So this gives you every possible combination that you could need for up at the top left of your motherboard. Many motherboards today actually do require more than one 8-pin connector. For example, the Big Bang X Power from MSI requires two 8-pin connectors. Although there are also motherboards that require an 8-pin and a 4-pin, mostly on the server side. So you'll be able to power whatever it is you need to, regardless of all of that. Let's have a look at what else we have for included modular cables, as well as, oh cool, we have more of these Cougar cable ties. So these are just little Velcro ties. I really like these, actually. You can see the whole front of the cable tie is made of the hard side of the Velcro, the prickly side, and then the entire back of it is made of the soft side. So it's all teeth at the front, and then it's all foamy kind at the back. Those are neat. I like them. I've said that a couple times now, but I think you get the point. All right, let's see what we've got for modular connectors. So back here we've got, oh, this is nice. So this is a multi-rail power supply. Actually, we should talk a little bit more about that. We'll talk about the rail layout. So this is a 4-rail power supply, and you can see that the labels are all clearly, the rails are all clearly labeled. So 12-volt 1 is powering the peripherals, 12-volt 3 is powering, as well as 12-volt 4, is powering the PCIe as well as the extra 8 pins. Hold on, pause for a second. 12 volt 4 and 3 are powering the PCI Express connectors. So let's have a look at the modular cables that are included finally. And we've got a couple red ones. So you can see these red ones are both 6+2 PCIe. So that means by default, this power supply can power up to 2 high-end GPUs, which 850 watts should be more than adequate for. And then we've got some more peripheral connectors. So wow, this is kind of an interesting layout. We've got a single modular cable that has 3 SATA and 2 Molex. Then we have another modular cable that is 3 Molex, so that is for purely Molex drives or peripherals. Then we have another one that is 3 SATA and 1 Molex. And then finally we have one that is 4 SATA. Okay, so that gives you quite the combination that you can plug in, and really that's what modular power supplies are all about, flexibility. So let's talk more about the unit itself. You can see here on the bottom, it uses a pretty special fan. So this is a hydrodynamic bearing 140mm fan, and it uses a very different layout to the blades. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but Cougar claims that with this blade design, you're able to get more silent performance and a longer lifespan with the blade design as well as the bearing design that goes into this fan. So that's pretty cool. You can see it's got silver accents here to go with its 80+ silver rating, as well as a very, very cool finish to the paint. Like this is a very, very neat finish. You can see that it kind of sparkles and shines, but it is a purely black paint, and all of that texture is actually right in the surface of the paint. So here we've got the Cougar logo, which is again silver because this is an 80+ silver power supply, and then we have a bit of an orange accent, so that really matches the cables that come out of it, which are black, white, and orange. Okay, here we have, this is the information I was looking for. So out of the 12 volt rails, we can pull a maximum of 828 watts. 12 volt rail 1, 2, 3, and 4 are capable of 22, 22, 24, and 24 amps respectively. That is maximum per rail. So that means you can't actually pull 22 plus 22 is 44, 68. You can't actually pull like 100 amps out of this thing, but it means that the overcurrent protection, which this unit does feature, is not going to be triggered until you reach those numbers. Now let's just see if there's anything else we wanted to talk about. Oh, right. Yeah, because it's able to pull so much from the 12 volt rail, or not because, but what allows it to pull so much from the 12 volt rail is the DC to DC technology. So that keeps the voltage regulation good. And it also means that very little of the internals of this power supply are actually dedicated to providing 3.3 volt and 5 volt power. So what that means is you can pull a lot of the 12 volt rail. It's just a better design these days. Actually, pause that for a second. So there are a couple more points to make due to the design of the power supply. It does feature very low ripple. It also has all Japanese solid capacitors, and it's rated at its rated power for up to 50 degrees Celsius. So unlike many power supplies on the market that are rated for an unrealistic 30 degrees or even lower than that, this one is actually rated to deliver its power when it's under a loaded scenario. So thank you for checking out this unboxing. I don't think we talked about the back where we find a power switch as well as a power plug and more of an orange finish to the unit. And yeah, I mean, really I wanted to talk mostly about the aesthetic of this thing because it's so cool. Thanks for checking out the unboxing. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips. Last thing included that I did forget to mention during the unboxing of this product is that it does include a very, very thick gauge power connector. So you can see this is quality right there. They are not expecting this to melt or otherwise deform it. So, I mean, look at this thing. What is this? Here, I can actually tell you, yeah, this is 14 gauge wire. Very beefy. Okay, that was it.